because we have so many guests from far-flung places, so past AG Zubi, would you be willing to introduce yourself and your club members that are with you today, please?
Okay, my president, my name is Zubi. Just take it as Zubi because otherwise my name is Akamnono Zubike. You can call me Zubi. I'm a member of Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise. Rotarian Zubi has served the club and the district in so many capacities, and presently I have retired from district service and I've been confined to club activities. It's good to be with you here. I really appreciate your invitation, or rather, I really appreciate you are including our club to be in your meeting today. Thank you so much.
Thank you. And I do know that you have some remarks prepared that tell us more about your club and your community. Is that something you'd care to do now, or would you rather wait until later in the meeting?
No, we have. I have here Rotarian Linus. Linus, we do a bit of it. While Rotarian Stanley, we do some of it too. Rotarian Linus, you can tell us about our club. Hello, Linus.
Okay. Good evening from Nigeria and good day. Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. My name is Linus. I served the Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise as president in 2014-2015 Rotary year. I'm a past assistant governor. Currently, I'm the district resource network chair. Well, the Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise was chartered in 2008. And we have our location, just like our name implies, in Eziama. Eziama is a small community in Aba metropolis. Aba is in Abia State. Abia State is in the southeastern geopolitical zone of Nigeria, West Africa. My club has influenced our communities in many ways. And since we started, the Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise is known to be a club that have impacted positively through good projects, grant projects. We started district grant project in the year 2016. And from 2016 to date, we have been executing district grants, ranging from provision of desk in basic, let me just mention the areas of focus in basic education and literacy, in water, sanitation and hygiene wash, in supporting an environment. We've also done 2 global grants. We started our global grant in the year 2018-2019 Rotary year, what we called the upgrading of a ski acquisition center owned by women in Abia State in a small town called Amokwiten. That particular global grant touched more than 250 women. They were trained in different skills, including hairdressing, internet utility and computer appreciation, makeup artistry, baking, catering and decoration. And the other one has to do with tailoring and design. Then in 2020, during the COVID year, we did a grant project that seeks to provide an emergency trauma center and also a 40-bed space infectious disease maternity, or what you can call a health center, owned by a Catholic church in somewhere in Abacod or Habian. That project also fed more than 2,000 people through food handouts, because during COVID it was so terrible down here in Nigeria. So my club has been worthwhile in implementing grants projects in touching lives. And just a few days ago, early this year, we did commission a 6-room toilet facility, modern toilet facility in a GS secondary commercial school in Abatu. So when you talk about Eziama Sunrise, you are talking about a club that if anything happens today and she loses her identity from Rotary International, the community will definitely miss us as a club. Let me stop at this. Thank you.
Thank you very, very much. Wow, the scope of your projects and the impact is really, really impressive. So past AG,
Yeah.
Stanley,
Good evening,
Stanley.
all. Yeah, I'm here. I'm here already. Yeah. You want to continue, or do I continue?
please do.
Okay. Good evening, all. Glad to be here. I am Past Assistant Governor Mado Stanley Okechukwu, a member of Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise. I'm a past president of our club, 2013-2014 Rotary, and equally a member of Rotary Cadre of Technical Advisors in the area of water, sanitation, and hygiene. Just like our last speaker, PhD Linus, as they said, Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise is synonymous with impacting positively to our community in the areas of focus. And there's no way we would have been able to do that without having a very strong membership base. For the past 3-4 years now, we've maintained a membership strength that ranges between 25 and 35 active membership. And the average age of our members hovers around 45. These are vibrant, committed Rotarians that are passion-driven. The focus is how to touch lives across our communities, across our state, and across our region. We are found in different classifications. Where on the basis of our classification survey, we have most of us who are into pharmaceutical, some who are into water and sanitation, some who are into real estate, some who are into banking, different classifications, who volunteer their time, energy, and professional training to implement Rotary to the positive impact of our communities and our country at large. So we have members who can boast of. Since 2008, we were chartered. We'll be moving from strength to strength in terms of touching lives, both through club service project, what we do internally, and the one we did through grants, both district and global grants, just like Linus explained. So our strength lies on our members. The strength of Eziama Sunrise is the quality of members we have, and we grew the club organically. That means members coming to understand what it means to be a Rotarian, accepting to be part of the Rotary movement, and showing commitment in terms of dues payment, volunteering of time, participation in every aspect of Rotary Club of Eziama Sunrise activity. That was why in all the grand projects we've done so far, it has been successfully executed and successfully closed as a result of the commitment of our members, the dedication of our members. We share our fellowship is every Wednesday by 6:30 p.m. It's an evening fellowship. And our members turn out to be part of the fellowship as a way of coming together to share friendship. We share friendship, just like the African culture and tradition. We believe in each other. We identify with each other in time of celebration, wedding anniversary, wedding programs, child dedication, even in the time of mourning. If have any of our members bereaved, we equally show commitment by identifying with each other to console and mourn such person. So we share a bond of friendship in the Zama Sunrise. That is the basis of all we've achieved so far, all we hope to achieve in the nearest future. And that will be the sustainability strength of our club. So having the privilege to network across your club, sharing fellowship, is a welcome development by those of us who are participating. Again, when next we'll have this kind of engagement fellowship, a good number of us will probably participate. So I'm glad to be here, and thank you for the privilege for us to share fellowship with you. Thanks.
Thank you, and we're very glad to have you with us also. I think one of the objectives that we had for today was to share information about each other's clubs, and I did want to give you a little overview, and this is actually thanks to Julia, who put this together. And what it is just a little overview of our background, which is that we were started actually not too many years after yours in 2012, and our club was actually started as a result of leadership needing to move elsewhere out of South Carolina for work, but wanted to stay aligned with our District 7750. And so the virtual option became very desirable for the people who wanted to stay in touch with what we were doing here. We do provide this opportunity for Rotarians to continue being engaged and committed to Rotary, even as their life situations change. And we have had many of our members experience that. And so they find a home with us because we can join in meetings and service projects wherever we are, whether it's from a campground or on the road at a rest stop or sitting at home in our living room. So our current membership is spread just across South Carolina. We did start with a more international component, but as the e-club community has grown across the world, including I think there are now over 300 e-clubs that are options for Rotarians. Each one has become somewhat more geographically focused, and so our membership now is primarily in South Carolina. We have a very experienced array of Rotarians in our club, and then some who were very new to Rotary. But we have a number of past district governors from whom I have learned very, very much, and I'm very grateful for their presence and their knowledge in bringing all of that to who we are. In terms of service, I would like to share, and this may be useful for our new members as well, which is that on our website, I can get back to it. Give me just one moment, please. I'll close that out. And don't say. And then poor Gordon, we'll have to see him another day. So our website, which still trying to get back to it. Bear with me, please. I had too many screens open at once. Okay. Let's see, go annotate. Sorry, do that. Okay, that helps. That helps to get. So here's our website. And for both our guests and our new members, this is a wealth of information about who we are and what we do. But what I wanted to focus on particularly for today is our service projects. And this is located under the Service Project tab on our website. And this link here lists all of the projects that we have gotten involved in really from the start of the club's history. We had a member last year who was very vigilant in cataloging all of our service projects that go back, gosh, 10 years or so. And so now you can actually look and see the wide variety of service that we have gotten involved in. And as I'd stated at the international conference back in March, we have 4 different ways we get involved with service. One is remote, where we agree on a project, but we can do it remotely from our homes or wherever. We have projects where we get together in person, whether it's collecting materials, supplies for a charity, or working on putting things together to give to somebody. And then there's um, other types of service. And then, so here, this one in particular, I wanted to get into in terms of individual. We have an individual in our club who has a passion for education, but also helping young adults grow in their opportunities for learning. And she has partnered with one of our colleges nearby and conducts virtual mock interviews for uh, folks who are in education, getting a degree soon, but then are looking for uh, interview opportunities. And especially online, that can be, as we experience here today, extremely awkward and strange. And so having the practice interviews helps those folks get more comfortable with that environment. We also have other, we do as often as we can, and we often take advantage of the district events to do projects in person. And an example of that is Acts of Green. That was quite a comprehensive project that we did this spring with a wide variety of uh, actions that were both individual, and then we got together to work on projects together. We collaborated with schools in our various communities to establish various environmental projects that the students will continue and that we will continue to be engaged in. So I encourage you, I don't want to go into great detail on all of these, but I do encourage you to visit our website at some point and take a look at the kinds of service that we do. And at this point, I would like to invite, now that we've given an overview of both the Eziyama Sunrise and our own club, if anybody has any questions or anything you'd like to add at this point. And don't all speak at once. Raise your hand, please, if you have anything you'd like to share. No? Okay, all right. Because part of our objective Dee, did you have a question or you, no? Okay, just wait. There's another fun part of this meeting that I wanted to get into in a bit, but I want to save that for just a little while because it's also part of getting to know us and each other, and I think it will help foster some conversation. But in the meanwhile, one of our traditions is happy dollars or happy bucks. And what we do is we share good things that have happened to us lately, and then we donate whatever amount the spirit moves us to our Happy Buck Fund, which then goes to fund more service projects and other good works. I will share that I actually had a birthday last week, so I will send an undisclosed amount of money to our Happy Buck Fund. Just trust me that it's going to be the right amount. Okay, so that's my happy buck. If anybody else have any happy dollars or happy bucks you'd like to, or anything good that's happened to you lately that you'd like to share, Lene, please.
Okay, thank you. I have a couple of happy bucks I'd like to, drop in the virtual bucket today. First of all, most especially welcome to our guest, who have traveled to us via afar through the virtual world. So glad to meet you and to have you with us from the far reaches of where you are. This is great. For those guests who are closer by, glad to see you too. And a special welcome to our newest 4 members who we inducted last week. And that would be Carol and Chuck and Rebecca and Dee. Thank y'all so much for seeing you again today. The 4 of us are, along with Julie Tovey, are in a orientation for new members. And there was a challenge question on part 2. That was to look up the first Rotary project, service project, and Chuck was emailed me back pretty quick. So thank you, Chuck, for your enthusiasm and your engagement in that. And so anyway, I'm just very happy, and I'm taking too long, so let me stop.
Thank you, Lene. Chuck, you have your hand up.
Yes, ma'am. First of all, to you folks at Eziyama Sunrise, and I apologize if I mispronounced that. I'm having trouble with my audio, but I mean, you guys are doing amazing work over there. And the people in my club know that I've actually been a part of the Rotary family for a long time, just haven't been a member. My father-in-law is a past district governor for District 7680. And the type of work that you're doing is the reason that he became a Rotarian, and the reason that to this day, he's retired, but he'll never retire from Rotary. So thank you for that work that you do, and keep it up. And I'd like to say, Candace, to the E-Club of the Carolinas, Lene and Julia and Julie have all reached out to me since last week's meeting, and just the communication is phenomenal. And they're very open to, hey, as well as you, Candace, you've always been, do you have any questions? How can I help? And it's just an amazing reception. So thank you so much for welcoming me. And I'm excited to begin my journey with you.
As we are too, Chuck. Thank you so very much for all the shout outs. And we're just great to have you with us. So past AG Zuby, you raised your hand, please.
Sure. One of the objectives of this meeting is to share our individual best practices. And I've attended your meeting once, and there is something common here, the charity at the end of every meeting. How do you raise your fund? You don't do charity, and you don't have, or maybe you don't have silent at times. How do you do that?
On our website, we have a little button on the left that says donate. And so our club, because no, we can't pass a bucket around and collect money that way, but we do, through our website, give people the opportunity to donate, and they can show when they donate what the donation is actually for. Does that answer your question? Because
Yep.
People always wonder, how do you do that?
Okay.
Okay. And we will be getting into some more ideas. I have a little bit of a structured exercise later that will, I think, foster some conversation about our best practices. So if you'll hang in there with me, I think we'll get to that in the next 5 or 10 minutes or so. So Rebecca, yes, you have your hand up. And you are on mute. If you could unmute, please. We have to say that at least once or twice in every meeting.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we hear you great.
Well, I haven't been a very long time Rotarian, but and I know that I must have read what Chuck found out, but it's probably filed way in the back. And I thought maybe Chuck would like to share with us that first Rotarian project in Chicago. I thought I knew, and I may, but maybe Chuck could revive my memory and explain to everyone, like, oh, guess what? The Rotarians did. And they were all men, professional men. And so Chuck, would you like to share that?
Well, we put him on the spot now.
I'm sorry, I just had to let the four-legged kids out. What did I miss?
Chuck, will you share what you found out that the beginning Rotarian Club in Chicago made their first project? What did they do?
The first project was actually 6 publicly available toilets called, forgive me for being on the spot, comfort seats, I think is what they called them, because they did not, I guess the word toilet was not appropriate for public consumption, so they called them, it's comfort something, but I believe it was comfort seats.
And wasn't it for men only?
Now that I did not see in the excerpt that I saw.
I need to check on that.
Yeah, I will check as well, and I apologize for not having the answer. All I saw was that it was public toilets, and that was the first service project.
Thank you for that.
Yes, ma'am.
That's funny. Yeah, I suspect any even if it were private, that taking care of that in public was just beyond the scope of any of the ladies in 1905. So just way little bit too edgy for them probably. And Julie Tovey put in some happy bucks, I think, for our guest Julie Bright. Welcome, Julie. Julie and Julie. Okay. Okay. Any other happy bucks? Barbara. Barbara, you're on mute. I wish there were a way to unmute you, Barbara, but I seem to be able to do that.
Can you hear me?
Now we can.
Okay, sorry. About 12 years ago, my son, my middle son, and I'm sorry, I'm hearing an echo, and his wife divorced. And she was from Bolivia. She was a native Bolivian that he met in Houston, Texas.
Yeah, I have to apologize to Barbara.
You just remuted.
I had to. Yeah, I had to mute Barbara because the echo was so bad. And I'm afraid it's still bad. I'm sorry, Barbara. We can try again.
Go ahead without me. I'll do it next week.
I hear her fine. If everyone else does, Barbara, when you're speaking.
Okay. Well, we have 3 sons. The middle one married a young lady from Bolivia, a native of Bolivia. Years ago, they had a son, and shortly after the son was born, she wanted to divorce. And after 2 years of very drawn out legal battles, She abducted him or kidnapped him to her home country of Bolivia by using a faked passport. And for a year or so thereafter, Fife did not know where she was. And he finally was able to find out where she and his son were, and they were back in Bolivia, in Cochabamba. And he fought for a number of years through the courts in Bolivia and with the State Department. And anyway, long story short, he was able to visit his son a couple of times, but always in an office with lots of other people around and no privacy. And he could not ask his son any questions about things personal, like, how he was doing or whatever. Anyway, long story short, he never gave up on getting his son. So this last weekend, Ethan flew to Miami to live with Fife and go to high school. So I wish it could be $1 million, happy dollars, but I'm making a sizable contribution to happy dollars that don't ever give up hope. Don't ever give up hope. And he's adjusting very well and looking forward to going to be a senior in high school in the US and go to college here, and just is having a great time. So thank you.
Barbara, that's, oh, goodness, what an amazing story. And there's just nothing like getting your family back together.
Yes.
Julia, I'm going to go on mute because I think there's something about your audio that's causing some echo. But do share. Go ahead and share.
Okay. So first, in my previous club, when someone made a sizable contribution, we rang the bell. So just for practice, did y'all hear the bell? Barbara, that was just an awesome story, and I'm so happy for you, and I'm happy for all of the guests we have today and our new members and our pending member, Matt. Good to have you on here too, and our group from Nigeria. My happy dollars is that we had hurricane force winds come through on Friday night, and in 10 minutes, they decimated a path through our community. And we had 14 trees come down in the property behind us. And about 5 of them just came into our backyard, but didn't touch our house. Spent a lot of hours on Saturday cleaning up just to get the parts that were in our yard. Several docks were disconnected from their moorings and were rearranged on the lake. No boats were harmed. They stayed on the docks. The docks were just not reachable. The community, of course, heading into Memorial Weekend, our community folks quickly got trees cut that were blocking roads. And by Saturday morning, they actually got most of the docks at least brought into a position where people could reach their boats for holiday weekend. And then we've all just been being neighbors, cutting trees down, and only 3 houses in our area were actually hit by all these trees, hundreds of trees down in 10 minutes of a storm, and then it was gone. And so we are just really thankful we live in a community where neighbors just come out, and even with people that weren't home, cutting trees down for people so that when they did get home from the holiday weekend, they could get into their garages and their houses. And we're just really fortunate that, a little bit of manual labor is nothing compared to being in a home that's safe. And Mother Nature has a huge force to be reckoned with. And so, yeah, it was quite a storm. And we're just really happy that we have good neighbors. So,
Julia, I think we're all just very grateful that you're safe, and yeah, it's it was bad, and I guess it could have been worse. So yes, very happy bucks for you guys coming out okay on that. Any other happy, one thing I love about this meeting format, and Julia, I apologize, I did put you back on mute because I think there's something that you did with the sound with the bell that is causing some echo, but it's a work in progress. I'd much rather hear the bell, quite honestly. But anyway, we'll work on that one. I just applaud you, and I will be sending in happy bucks that we actually heard the bell, I think, for the very first time in 2 years on Zoom. Um, is everybody still hearing an echo? Or only when Julia and I are both yeah, okay, all right, okay. What I'd like to do real quickly, and this is a trial and error thing, but hopefully you'll find it fun. It's a little poll, and hopefully it will prompt a little conversation. It's just 8 or 9 questions, and the first 2 or 3 are just to kind of warm you up, and actually it's also part of getting us to know each other a little bit. Can everybody see a poll on the screen? Okay. Well, there's 8 or 9 questions. If you don't mind, just go through and answer the questions real quick. Yeah, don't overthink it. You don't have to overthink it. Well, I will tell you that coffee was by and far the biggest answer. There were just a couple of people who answered tea, and then there was one who said other. And so are they willing to share what other beverage they use to start their day? Anybody willing to volunteer what the other thing was?
Yes, mine is a smoothie.
Oh, hey, you know what? Okay, all right. So
I
no
can't have coffee
margaritas
or
or
tea.
I was wondering if somebody was going to say, well, of course it's a Bloody Mary or mimosa, but wrong crowd. Okay, all right. Favorite comfort food. Okay, so we had sweets, we had meatloaf, mac and cheese, chicken piccata, and chicken dumplings. The reason I asked this one, and I'll try to make this really short, but when I lived in Arizona, I went down into Mexico to Caborca, and they had a conference on all that welcomed all the different cultures of the area, and there was a class on ethnobotany and the connection between who we are, where we live, and the biological world around us. And what was fascinating when people were asked about their favorite comfort food, it almost always involved carbohydrates, and usually was very regional between rice and beans and potatoes and all those things that when you're really not feeling well, that you just really want to, like mac and cheese, that you really want to curl up with. And so the meatloaf was really the only outlier there. And the chicken. So some people really just need the protein when they're not feeling well. That's fascinating. I love that. Home baked desserts, Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich, mac and cheese, ice cream, grilled cheese, peanut butter, and ice cream. Oh, who has not downed at least a pint of ice cream at one sitting, if not half a gallon, right? Don't all raise our hands. So dogs apparently won out, 64%. Cats were, only one person was a cat person. There were some others. Okay, there were 2 others. Anybody want to share what your other was?
Horses.
Horses. Okay. And then we have a none. I have a feeling yeah, Greg just hollered at me from down the hall. So we've been through various pets, and we now have fish. And so I think, I think Greg was like, yeah, I think we're done with pets. Your favorite sport to watch? Okay, football, golf. Football? None. Don't watch football. College football, downhill skiing, baseball. Women's soccer. Oh, women's soccer. Okay, sure. Okay. Yeah, of course. Yeah. Golf and college basketball. Now, it's interesting about football and soccer because we have a son-in-law who's English, and so I've had to relearn or remind myself again that football means different things to different people. And I suspect that at least one of the footballs might have been a soccer. Who knows? Okay. Okay, and let's see. Now we're going to get into a little Rotary business. How long have you been in Rotary? And most people had been in 11 to 20 years. And then next was less than 1. And then more than 3, and 21 to 30, or 1 to 10 were tied. So we have quite a range, which is really, I love that there is a diversity in our experience in Rotary. Number one, we learn from the long-term members, and we also need to stay energized by the new folks coming into Rotary and be reminded that we don't always have to do the same things the same way. And they're good reminders of keeping us on our toes. What makes our Rotary Club successful, whichever one it was, the people and the positivity of them, the people, service, still new, so don't know. Hedging your bets there. Love for service, passion for Rotary, flexibility, the service projects, good people, and the energy and the work of the members. So what I'm seeing there is a strong trend toward the relationships in the club and the service that we can provide. Yeah. Yeah. What types of service projects do you enjoy the most? And international and in-person were tied. And remote came next, and then individual and in-person, sorry about that, were tied. And then remote, and then international, specifically focused international. We do try to mix it up between in-person when we can, but I think one of the strengths of our club is the opportunity to represent Rotary in our own communities, wherever we happen to live, and partner with others, whether it's other clubs or other neighborhoods in just doing good work. So the options were, yeah, okay, so we did that. And name a service project that you think has had the greatest overall impact. One of them said all of them. A green project, helping children, Meals on Wheels, all water projects, amen to that. Clean water project in Honduras, and helping kids. So a theme there on helping young people, the environment, and then water come through loud and clear. And what makes our club attractive for new members? Easy to attend, easy to serve, collaborative heart of service, choices for service projects, which is, yes, that's true. Many clubs, actually, they have specific service projects that then everybody is expected to participate in that project. And what we offer, of course, is total flexibility in how doing service in a way that is meaningful to you. Ability to connect from wherever we are gives an option if you can't or don't want to go to an in-person meeting, new opportunities and ideas, and remote. Okay. Now, I know that I'm going to stop sharing there and come back to the meeting here. I know that Zuby had mentioned particularly, and I do want to get to this while we're together, and maybe hear from his club first what he thinks are the best practices that he thinks have made his club a success. Would you be willing to share that with us, Zuby? I think I missed him. Okay. There. So we were hoping that that you could tell us, Zuby, what you think are the best practices that make your club a success.
Hello, hello.
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, no. I didn't hear you very well.
Okay.
I didn't hear you very well. Can you repeat it, please?
Yes. We were talking about best practices, and those if you could share just like 2 or 3 things that you think make your club the most successful. What is it about
Okay.
your club that you think really works the best?
Okay. Actually, Stanley has said something relating to that. We are a group of young, enthusiastic, and committed Rotarians, and we try to groom our members. Most of our members, not really all of them, I can tell you that know the rudiments of Rotary and why they joined Rotary. That is why when we are engaged in project implementation, at least 85% of our members are duly engaged too, because we have our classifications spread across different vocations and professionals, like water and all rest of it. And we are trying to expand our membership. 36 is not a good number for us. If we can expand our membership, if we can expand our international connections, we shall do more to learn from all these clubs internationally. I think it will help our club so much. But meanwhile, expanding our membership, because Rotary is an association of people. I don't think 36 is a very good number for us, and we are trying to do that. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Yeah, I think having a you talk about your younger membership. We traditionally, since I put together reports, have put together reports for the last couple of years, we have tended toward the older end of the spectrum. Well, what I prefer to call the more experienced end of the more knowledgeable end of the spectrum in terms of Rotary. But I love that we actually, because of our flexible environment, are now able to welcome people really of all ages. But that's a wonderful perspective. And yes, you do need a critical mass of members to be able to do good work and be effective. Anybody from our club want to tackle what you think are the top, just 2 or 3 things that really make our club the most successful? Lene.
I think there's a number of things that make any Rotary Club successful, but I think every Rotary Club has its own personality and unique features. And I think our Rotary Club has capitalized on that in the sense that we have really embraced the opportunities that virtual clubs can offer. And when you look at virtual, that's an alternative ways of meeting. So we've embraced an alternative way of doing service. We've embraced an alternative way of welcoming new members. We've embraced an alternative way of, fundraising, which sometimes comes to be more of contributions, but nonetheless, I think the bottom line is we figure out a way to make it work. And this community that we see here on Zoom works as a community because when we meet, we are all meeting together, working together, talking together. And we can have sidebar conversations with each other. But at the end of the day, we're all together. And I think that's the uniqueness that really sets us apart and makes it work.
Thank you, Lene. I really, really appreciate that because yeah, thank you. Okay. Well, it is almost 1 o'clock, and I don't know about you, but for me, this hour went by really fast. I do a couple things we like to do before we all leave. If you want to be on video, please open up your video, but we're going to take a quick screenshot to show a photo of everybody who's here. And I will count to 3 so that everybody's actually looking at the camera when when we take the picture. If you would, 1, 2, 3. Very good. Thank you. Thank you very much. And then what we do for our friends over in Nigeria, we have a number of what we call little free libraries all around. Actually, it's a nationwide program. In neighborhoods, in front of schools, and just parks and different places, somebody will put up a little box that could look like a post office box, or just up on a stand, and people will leave books, they'll take books, and it just sort of goes on, and there's no charge to it. People just leave the books that they would like to share with their neighbors. And in any case, we every week, two of our members select alternate selecting a book in honor of our guests or speakers. And this particular book has been selected for you and your club in honor of our friends from the Rotary Club of Eziyama Sunrise. We are proud to place this book in a little free library somewhere here in South Carolina. And it's called Think Big, and it's a story that emphasizes the importance of goals and going for the extraordinary, expressing gratitude and working together, all the things that are most important for Rotary and the things that we're happy to all do together. So thank you all for being here today. We will close out our meeting reciting the four-way test together. So if you would, take yourself off of mute and say together with me the Rotary four-way test of the things we think, say, or do. First,
Is it the
Is
truth?
it the truth?
second,
Is it fair
Is
to
it fair to all concerned?
third,
Will it
Will
build better friendships?
and fourth, will it be
Will it
Will it be beneficial to all concerned?
And I
One
thank you all very much. I hope the
Awesome.
rest of your day is
See
wonderful.
everybody.
Thank you.